Yes. Hello, students. So we are here at the much awaited true or false question bank. Okay. You have been constantly asking about the true or false. So true or false can fetch you 12 marks in your exam. The first question itself is true or false. So what we are going to cover in this video is all the RTPs since May 2018, all the MTPs since May 2018, all the PYPs since May 2018. Whatever true or false which has been asked in those, we are going to cover in this particular video. Now, when we are doing the RTPs and MTPs and PYPs since May 2018, okay, there will be some old scheme questions also. So in old scheme, there were chapters like average due date, consignment, and sale of goods on approval or written basis and all. If it is something that is not relevant to our particular syllabus, we will not discuss that particular question. Other than that, we will cover. So roughly, we will be covering around 400 questions. 400 true or false questions will be there. Let's hope that these questions which we are covering over here will revise all the concepts at once and also can fetch us 12 marks, 12 easy marks in the exam. Clear? So let's start with RTP May 2018 and RTP November 2020 were same. Okay, the questions were same. Question number 1. Accrual concept implies accounting on cash basis. Accrual concept is actually on accrual basis, so it cannot be on cash basis. That's why it is false. Next. Sales book is kept to record both cash and credit sales. No, in sales book, what do we record? We record only credit sales. So therefore, it is false. And that also we record only credit sales of goods which we are dealing in business. Next, 3. Bank reconciliation statement is prepared to arrive at the bank balance. No, bank reconciliation statement is to find the difference between cash book and passbook. False. 4. Finished goods are normally valued at cost or market price, whichever is higher. No, finished goods are valued at cost or NRV, whichever is lower. 5th, reducing balance method of depreciation is followed to have a uniform charge for depreciation and repairs and maintenance together. This is true. Now, what happens in reducing balance? Reducing balance is WDV. Depreciation keeps reducing. Correct? First year, depreciation will be high. Then it will be low. It will be reducing. Okay? And repairs and maintenance will keep increasing. Any asset repair and maintenance, first year repair and maintenance will be low, after that it will keep increasing. So here this is high, here this is low. It will complement each other. When this gets lower and lower, depreciation, repair and maintenance gets higher and higher. That is what they are trying to tell in this particular thing. That is true. Clear? 6. Discount at the time of retirement of a bill is a gain for the drawee. Gain for whom? Drawee. Who is a drawee? Discount at the time of retirement. If they retire, we call it as rebate usually, which can also be called as discount. This is true. If a drawee is a person who has accepted the bill. If he is paying early and is getting discount, for him it is gain. Next, 7. Okay. The withdrawal of cash from the business by the proprietor should be charged to profit and loss account as an expense. Withdrawal of cash from the business by proprietor, it is drawings. It will not be charged to profit and loss as expense because we follow entity concept. This is false. Next, 8. Partners can share profits or losses in their capital ratio when there is no agreement. False, because if there is no agreement, it should be equal. So this is false. 9. When you are revising, you can even read the reasons so that your concepts gets revised. Okay, so I'm just briefly telling and going further. Receipts and payments account highlights total income and expenditure. Receipts and payments tells us receipts and payments. Income and expenditure tells income and expenditure. So this is false. 10. Debenture interest is payable after the payment of preference dividend, but before the payment of equity dividend. Is this true? Debenture interest is payable, they're telling, after preference dividend. Preference dividend is what you pay to preference shareholder, where you will pay the shareholder only after you pay outsider. Debenture is a loan. You have to pay the outsider first, then you will pay the insider. So you are not going to pay this after preference dividend. You are going to pay this before preference dividend. So false. 11. Fixed assets turnover ratio indicates. Now we are going to ignore this because ratios are no longer there in CA Foundation syllabus. This was a chapter called as ratio. Whatever is out of syllabus, I'm going to strike it out straight away. Okay. Because in November 18, May 18 and all, we had some other extra chapters as well. Now, RTP November 2018. 1. Net income in case of persons practicing vocation is determined by preparing profit and loss account. false. Okay. If net income of persons practicing, that is income and expenditure account, if they are practicing, if they are having a profession, no profession, usually they use income and expenditure account. Business, they use P&L account. Clear? So that's why it is false. 2. The problem of red ink interest. Red ink interest was there in account current. So I'm going to strike it out. Consignment account is of the nature of real account. That also I'm going to strike it out. There is no consignment anymore. Balance in petty cash book represents an asset. Obviously, petty cash, small cash, big cash, whatever it's, money is asset always. So this is true. 5. Stock at the end, if appears in the trial balance, is taken only to the balance sheet. This is a final account situation. If stock is there in the trial balance, it will go directly to balance sheet. If stock is there in the adjustments, it will go to balance sheet as well as it will be credited to trading account. So this is true. 6. In case a sports fund is kept, okay, expense on account of sports event should be charged to sports fund. Why did you keep the sports fund? So that when there is expense, you can take money from that fund. So obviously this is true. 7. Salary paid in advance is not an expense because it neither reduces asset nor increases liability. It is not an expense. Okay, salary paid in advance is not an expense because it does not reduce asset or increase liability. Salary paid in advance, what is it? It is prepaid expense. It is actually an asset. Okay, so that is why it is true. They are telling it is not an expense. Next, 8. Laboratory and library deposits taken from the students in case of an education institution are shown as liability in the balance sheet. Obviously, you took deposit from the students. So when the students leave, they'll ask the deposit back. So till then you have to hold it. It's a liability. Clear? Next, RTP May 2019. Question number 1. Results and position disclosed by the final accounts are not exact. Why they are telling it's not exact? Because we take so many assumptions. Provision for doubtful debt. Am I guaranteed that this person is not going to give us? No. So it is true. It is all not exact. It's based on lot of estimates and assumptions. Depreciation, if you take, I'm telling 10 years useful life. Who can tell that 10 years only I will be able to use it? It cannot be guaranteed. So it is true. Second, the rationale behind the opening of a suspense account is to tally the trial balance. Why do we open suspense account? When trial balance doesn't tally, we open suspense account so that trial balance tallies and we can move forward. So this is, oh, they've written it as false. Rationale behind the opening of a suspense account is to avoid the delay in preparation of final accounts. Okay, they are telling it is false. But actually, suspense account is opened for what? Tallying the trial balance so that we can move forward. But they are telling it is for preparation of, to avoid delay in preparation of final accounts. Okay, financial statements. Yeah, why they are telling that is because it has to first tally. Then once it is tallied, then we can prepare financial statements. So it can be true as well as false. Clear? 3. Reducing balance method of depreciation is followed to have a uniform charge of depreciation and repairs and maintenance together. Did we see this question once? Yes, it is a repeat. So it is true. I told you reducing balance method depreciation. Okay, first year the depreciation will be high. Then it will be low. Because it's always calculated on WDV. And in repairs and maintenance, first year it will be low. After that it will be high. So these complement each other. Okay. Next, 4. Accounting can be viewed as an information system which has its input, processing methods and output. Obviously, there is method of input, there is method of output. Input is data getting into the accounting system and output is basically you preparing your financial statements. True. Okay. 5th. The value of human resource is generally shown as an asset in the balance sheet. Human resource we don't show, human beings are actually a big asset, but do we show them in the balance sheet? No. This is false. 6. The financial statement must disclose all relevant and reliable information in accordance with full disclosure principle. There is a principle called as full disclosure principle. What happens over there is whatever is known to us which can impact the reader, that has to be disclosed. So this is true. 7. The debit notes issued are used to prepare sales return book. Debit note. I am going to debit your account. I have to pay you. I am going to debit your account. I have to pay you, and that means it is a creditor. Okay, that means it is because of purchase. Now I am going to debit you. That means it is purchase which is going to be returned. So this is not sales return. Yeah, false. This is actually purchase return book. Credit note will be for sales return. Debit note will be for purchase return. Next, in account current. Okay, I am going to ignore this. Account current is not there. 9. A tally trial balance means that books of accounts have been prepared as per accepted accounting principle. No. Tallied trial balance doesn't mean that it is as per accounting principles which are accepted. Okay, to tally the trial balance, you just need one debit and one credit. That's all. Okay, now the debit and credit, if it is wrong accounts also, if there is debit and credit which is equal, obviously the trial balance will tally. So this is false. Just because trial balance tallies, that doesn't mean that all principles are correctly followed. November 19, question number 1. Goods worth rupees 600 taken by the proprietor for personal use should be credited to capital account. Goods taken for personal use, the entry is actually drawings account debited to purchases. Drawings account debited to purchases is the entry. So this is false. Next, second one. Amount paid to management company for consultancy to reduce the working expenses is capital expenditure if the reduced working expense will generate long-term benefit. Any expense if it is going to give us long-term benefit, it is always capital expenditure. Here they are telling we spend some money, it is reducing our expense and it is going to give us future benefit. True, capital expenditure. 3. The additional commission to the consignee. Ignore, consignment is not there. Next, 4. When there is no agreement among the partners, the profit and loss of the firm will be shared in capital ratio. Again, it's a repeat telecast question. Capital ratio, no, it should be in what? Equal. No ratio only. It should be equal. False. Now, 5. When shares are forfeited, the share capital account is debited with the called up capital of shares forfeited and the shares forfeiture account is credited with the calls in arrears of shares forfeited. False. Share when it is forfeited, share capital is debited with the called up capital. That is correct. But share forfeiture account is credited with not with calls in arrears. It is credited with amount received, whatever amount is received. So this is false. RTP May 2020. Expense in connection with obtaining a license for running a cinema hall is revenue expenditure. Straight pick from study material. This question is there. Okay, for if you get a license for running a cinema hall, you will be running the cinema hall for a long period. So obviously it's going to give you future benefit. This is false. It's not revenue expenditure. It is capital expenditure. 2. Reissue of forfeited shares is allotment of shares but not sale. Reissue of forfeited shares, they are telling it's not allotment of shares. When I reissue the shares, obviously I'm going to allot it to a new person. So this is again false. 3. If effect of errors committed cancel out, the errors will be called compensating errors and the trial balance will disagree. If error is compensating, that is it's going to cancel out, that is 100% compensating error. But trial balance will not disagree, it will agree. So this is again false. 4. There are 2 ways of preparing an account current. Ignore account current, we don't have. Next, in case of consignment, ignore, we don't have consignment. 6. In case the due date of bill falls after the date of closing, red ink interest, this is again account current, ignore. 7. Limited liability partnership is governed by Indian Partnership Act. False, because there is an LLP Act. You study in law. Okay, there is an LLP Act, so it is false. RTP May 2021. Question number 1. Gauri purchased goods worth rupees 75,800. Okay, at 5% trade discount and she paid half of the amount in cash. The amount appearing in the purchase book is 36,005. Now, 75,800 minus 5% trade discount. So 75,800 minus 5%, you're getting 72,010. Half the amount is paid in cash. Divide by 2. Divide by 2. So 36,005. Half is paid in cash. Half is not paid in cash. That means half will go to purchase book. 36,005 is correct. True. Clear? Next. Second. All the personal and real accounts are recorded in P&L. Personal and real accounts go to balance sheet. So this is false. 3. Amount spent on replacement of worn out part of machine is capital expenditure. If you replace one worn out part of the machine, it is not capital expenditure, it is revenue expenditure. But if it is going to give you future benefit, then it can be capital expenditure. They haven't told us anything about future benefit. That is why it is false. Clear? 4. When closing inventory is overstated, net income of the accounting period will be understated. Closing stock. If closing stock, okay, if closing stock increases, profit increases. Not understated, profit increases. So this is false. 5. The additional commission to the consignee. Ignore. 6. Goodwill is intangible asset and therefore it cannot be valued. False. It is intangible asset, but it can be valued. We have used average profit method, super profit method and all that. So it is false. 7. Interest on calls in arrears is payable by the company to the shareholder. Interest on calls in arrears is paid by the shareholder to the company. So this is false. 8. Outstanding salaries for the previous year shall be shown as liability in the current year balance sheet. Last year's outstanding salary will be paid this year, so it will no longer be outstanding. So it is false. 9. Debenture holders enjoy the voting rights in the company. No, they don't vote, only shareholders vote. RTP November 2021. Clear? I hope you are following, guys. Let's quickly finish so that you revise all the true or false and you can nicely score 12 marks in the exam. Okay? That first 12 marks will boost your confidence and you will do everything correct and the exam will go well. Now, RTP November 2021. Question number 1. A tally trial balance means that books of accounts have been prepared as per accepted accounting principle. Repeat telecast. False. Second, the rationale behind the opening of a suspense account is to tally the trial balance. Repeat telecast. False. We have seen this. Third, reducing balance method of depreciation is followed to have a uniform charge of depreciation and repair and maintenance. This is also repeated. True. Fourth, partnership firm can acquire fixed assets in the name of the firm. No, company can acquire fixed asset in the name of the company, but partnership firm cannot. They don't have a separate legal identity. Okay, false. Fifth, outstanding salaries for the previous year shall be shown as liability in the current year's balance sheet. Just now we saw that. False. Outstanding salary of last year will be shown in last year's balance sheet as liability. Clear? Next, 6. The financial statement must disclose all relevant and reliable information in accordance with full disclosure. Yes, that is 100% true. We have seen this before also. 7. The debit notes issued are to prepare sales return. Debit note for what? Debit note for what? Debit note for purchase return. Credit note for sales return. False. Okay. 8. Bills receivable and bills payable book are type of subsidiary books. Yes, bills receivable and bills payable are subsidiary books only. Just like purchase book, sales book, purchase return, sales return book. Clear? 9. Results and position disclosed by the final accounts are not exact. Absolutely, because we are going to follow a lot of assumptions and estimates. So it is not exact. RTP May 2022. The gain from sale of capital asset need not be added to revenue to ascertain the net profit of the business. True. Okay. Because gain from sale of capital asset, it can be put into capital reserve as well. So true. Now see, profit on sale of capital asset should not be added to revenue to ascertain profit since it has not been earned due to normal business operation. That is not from day-to-day business operation. That's why in goodwill calculation also, sale of asset which we get profit, we take it as abnormal item and we remove it when we are calculating goodwill. Second, sale of office furniture should be credited to profit and loss account. False. No. When we sell office furniture, furniture will be credited, not P&L. Profit or loss might go to P&L. Third, additional commission to consignee. Ignore. 4. Partnership firm can acquire fixed assets in the name of the firm. False. Can you see how many questions are repeated? Okay. Next. 5. Debenture holders enjoy the voting right. False. Only shareholders can vote. We already saw this. Repeat telecast. November 2022. Question number 1. Financial statement must disclose all relevant information. Full disclosure. We saw that. True. Second. Debit notes issued to prepare sales return book. It is for purchase return book. False. Bank reconciliation statement is provided to arrive at bank balance. Not. It is to find the difference. It is to reconcile the difference. False. 4. If closing stock appears in the trial balance, then closing inventory is not entered in the trading account. It is shown only in the balance sheet. Yes, if it is there in the trial balance, straight to balance sheet. True. 5. Depreciation is a non-cash expense and does not result in any cash outflow. Depreciation is a non-cash expense. Yes, true. Does not result in any cash outflow. Guys, here we are discussing only true or false. If at all you have some conceptual clarity doubt, you can always go and watch the marathon which is there for Jan 2026. Okay. This is only for true or false quick revision. 6. Discount at the time of retirement of a bill is a gain for the drawee. This we have seen. If I am a drawee, I am retiring the bill. I am getting discount. It's good for me. True. 7. In case the due date of a bill falls after the date of closing the account, the interest from the date of closing to such due date. Okay, red ink. Ignore. It is account current concept. Ignore. 8. A withdrawal of cash from the business by the proprietor should be charged to P&L. No. It is drawings. False. 9. Partners can share profits and losses in the capital ratio when there is no agreement. No. If there is no agreement, what we are going to do? We are going to use Equal ratio, false. 10. Fees received for life membership is a revenue receipt. Life membership cannot happen again and again. No, it can happen only once. False. It is not revenue receipt, it's capital receipt. 11. Debenture interest is payable after the payment of preference dividend, but before the payment. No. Debenture interest you can't pay after preference dividend. You should first pay all outsiders. So this is also false. We have seen this. Again, we are discussing RTP May 23 and December 23. Question number 1. Prior paid items need not be separately disclosed in the current statement of P&L. False. Prior period item we should show separately. That's why whenever we have rectification in the next accounting period, we use the item P&L adjustment. So this is false. Second, salary paid in advance is not an expense because it neither, yes, it's not an expense, 100% correct. It is actually a asset. Salary paid in advance is prepaid expense. True. 3. If the effects of errors committed cancel out, the errors will be called compensating errors and the trial balance will disagree. It is compensating error, but trial balance will agree. So this is false. 4. The sale value of byproduct is credited to trading account. Sale value of byproduct is not credited to trading account. It goes to manufacturing account. So this is false. 5. In case of consignment, ignore, bye-bye consignment. The problem of red ink interest, bye-bye red ink. 7. Net income in case of persons practicing vocation is determined by preparing profit and loss. No, income and expenditure account. This we have seen before also. Repeat telecast. False. 8. Listed company means a company which has its securities only listed with National Stock Exchange. False. False. They have multiple, any recognized stock exchange, not only National Stock Exchange. Yes. 9. Partners can share profits and losses in their capital ratio when there is no agreement. No, Baba, no. You cannot share in capital ratio. You should share it equally. RTP May 2024. Question number 1. A concern proposes to discontinue its business from December 23 and decides to dispose of all its plants within the period of 3 months. Balance sheet as on 31st December 2023 should continue to indicate the plants at its historical cost. No. When you are shutting down the business, what historical cost? You will show it at realizable value as assets will be disposed of. This is false because it should be shown at realizable value, not at historical cost. When you are having going concern, that means you are going to continue. That time you will show the assets at cost. When you are not going to continue, that time it will be shown at realizable value. Question number 2. Sales book is kept to record both cash and credit sales. Then why we have cash book? It is only to record credit sales of goods. So therefore, this is also false. 3. Bank reconciliation statement is prepared to arrive at the bank balance. How many times, boss, you will ask me this question? No, it is for finding the difference between the cash book and pass book. This is also false. 4. Damaged inventory should be valued at cost or market price, whichever is lower. Whichever inventory, it should be valued at cost or NRV, whichever is lower. In fact, if it is damaged inventory, it should be shown only at NRV because we are going to sell it anyways. Clear? 5. Reducing balance method of depreciation is followed to have a uniform charge. Baba, how many times you will ask me? True. Depreciation reduces, repair and maintenance increases. 6. Discount at the time of retirement of a bill is a gain for the drawee. Yes, 100%. I am retiring the bill. You are going to give me discount. I am very happy. I am happy about it. It's true. 7. A withdrawal of cash from the business by the proprietor for personal use should be charged to P&L. No, it is drawings. Again, repeat telecast. 8. In case of admission of a new partner in a partnership firm, the profit or loss or revaluation account is transferred to all partners in their new profit sharing ratio. Then why we are calling that guy? First of all, when partner is admitted, revaluation profit will be only to the old partners in old profit sharing ratio. False. 9. When a non-profit organization separate trading activity, the profit or loss from the trading account shall be transferred to the income and expenditure account at the time of consolidation. Yes, true. If you are a NPO, if you are NPO, imagine your school is an NPO. Okay, but there is one store, no? One stationery shop is there. Whatever profit that they make, that will be transferred to the income and expenditure account. 10. In the balance sheet of X Limited, the preliminary expense amounting to 5 lakhs and securities premium account of 35 lakhs are appearing. The accountant can use the balance in securities premium account to write off the preliminary expense. Yes, 5 reasons of securities premium. One of the reason is used to write off the preliminary expense. So it is true. 11. Debenture interest is payable after the payment of preference dividend. How many times you will ask me? Okay, it is paid before the preference dividend. So this is false. Clear? September 2024. Guys, cover the bank. If 3 questions repeat also, no, 6 marks straight away. Accrual concept implies accounting on cash basis. Accrual concept implies accounting on due basis. Clear? So this is false. Second, sales book is kept to record both cash and credit sales. No, it is only for recording credit sales of goods. False. Third, bank reconciliation statement is prepared to arrive at bank balance. No, it is for reconciling cash book and passbook. 4, provision for bad debts is debited to sundry debtors account. No, provision for bad debt is debited to P&L account. So this is also false. 5, periodic inventory system is a method of ascertaining inventory by taking an actual physical count. Yes, periodic inventory means pull the shutter down, go and start counting. This is true. 6, discount at the time of retirement of a bill is a gain for the drawee. Yes, how many times you will ask? Every time I will tell. True. 7, the provision for discount on creditors is often not provided, keeping in mind the principle of conservatism. Yes, provision for discount on debtors. Debtor is not going to make payment. I'll make provision because conservatism tells that future losses should be accounted. Provision for discount on creditor. I am not going to pay. I am going to get gain in future. That on the basis of conservatism, usually we don't create any provision. Clear? Yes. 8, partners can share profits and losses in their capital ratio when there is no agreement. No, it should be equal. 9, both revenue and capital nature transactions are recorded in the receipt and payment account. No, both revenue and capital transactions are recorded in receipt and payment. Yes, in receipt and payment, everything you'll show, but in income and expenditure, you'll show only revenue transactions. 10, a fixed charge generally covers all assets of the company, including future one. False. Fixed charge is what? Is a mortgage on specific assets. Floating charge covers all assets. Clear? Yes. Now, Jan 2025 RTP. The debit note is issued to prepare sales return book. Debit note is for purchase return book. False. Second, sale of office furniture should be credited to the profit and loss account. No. False. Third, outstanding salary for previous year will be shown only in previous year. Again, this is repeated. False. 4, when closing inventory is overstated, net income of the period will be understated. No. If closing stock is overstated, profit will be understated. No. Profit will be overstated. False. Next, results and position disclosed by the final accounts are not exact. Yes, it is not exact because we'll take lot of assumptions and lot of conventions and concepts are followed. 6, in case of a public holiday, due date of the bill falls on the next working day. In case of public holiday, it falls on the previous day. So this is also false. 7, in case of a public holiday, the due date of the bill falls on the next working day. Okay, again it's repeated here, same thing, false. 8, where a non-profit organization has a separate trading entity activity, profit or loss from the trading account shall be transferred. Yes, we saw that school example. If your school has stores makes profit comes to income and expenditure account. 9, the firm will receive surrender value of the joint life policy on the death of a partner. No, if a partner dies, you will not get surrender value. What you will get? You will get the claim. You'll get you'll get the policy amount itself. 10, company X Limited is incurring huge losses. The board of directors are of the opinion that in case of loss, there is no need to pay interest to debenture holders. Why? Debenture holders are outside. If you take loan from somebody, if there is loss, you will not pay interest. You will still have to pay interest. RTP May 2025. Question number 1. Accounting standards for non-corporate entities in India are issued by the central government. False. It is issued by whom? It is issued by ICAI. That is what you are under. Yes. 2. Cash book is a subsidiary book as well as principal book. Yes, cash book is a subsidiary book as well as principal book, because in cash book you make the primary entry also and then directly the balance goes to trial balance also. Third, debit balance of cash book is same as overdraft as per passbook. False. Debit balance as per cash book means you have money. Debit balance as per cash book is credit balance as per passbook. That means favorable balance. If it is overdraft as per passbook, then it will be credit balance as per cash book. Clear? 4, warehouse rent paid for storage of finished inventory should be included in the cost of finished inventory. False. Why will you add that? You will show it separately. Yes. 5, reducing balance method. This how many times they will tell? True. 6, promissory note can be made payable to bearer. False. Promissory note you have to pay it to that person only. You cannot pay it to bearer. Bills you can. Bills of exchange you can do it. 7, provision for bad debts is debited to sundry debtor. No. Provision for bad debt is debited to P&L. False. 8, goodwill is intangible asset. Therefore, it cannot be valued. False. It can be valued. That's why you are using multiple methodologies. Yes. 9, outstanding salary for previous year will be previous year only. It will not be shown this year. So false. 10, a person holding preference shares of a company cannot hold equity shares of the same company. No, you can hold. If you want, you can hold both preference shares as well as equity shares. There is no conflict over there. 11. A company is not allowed to issue shares at a discount to the public in general. True. You cannot issue shares to public in at discount, but exception is there, that is sweat equity shares. RTP September 2025. Come on. Yes, at the end of the accounting year, all the nominal accounts of the ledger are balanced. No. Nominal accounts are closed. They get transferred to P&L trading account and they are closed. False. Question 2. Outstanding expenditure is a nominal account. No, outstanding expenditure is a personal account. So false. Next. Bank reconciliation statement is prepared to arrive at the bank balance. How many times you'll ask me, boss? No, false. 4. Provision for discount on debtors is calculated before deducting the provision for doubtful debts. No. Provision for discount on debtors is after. First you will calculate provision for doubtful debts. Whoever is not going to pay, create provision for them. Then remaining people, you give them discount. So this will be false. 5. Land is also a depreciable asset. No, land doesn't depreciate, it appreciates. False. 6. Periodic inventory system is a method of ascertaining inventory by taking an actual physical count. Yes, periodic inventory system. You will go and count one by one. Whatever you find, that is your stock. Perpetual inventory system. You will keep one book and you will keep writing issues, purchases, balance. Yes. True. 7. Partnership firm can acquire fixed asset in the nature or in the name of the firm. False. It cannot. Company can, but partnership firm cannot. 8. Both revenue and capital nature transactions are recorded in the receipt and payment account. Receipt and payment account, you will record everything because it is like a cash book. But income and expenditure account, you will record only revenue transactions. So this is true. 9. Debenture suspense account appears on the liability side of the balance sheet. Debenture suspense account, false. Debenture suspense will be on the asset side. But you can bring it to the asset side, liability side and show it as a negative figure. Next, RTP Jan 2026, this one which they released for your exam. Question number 1, concept of conservatism when applied into the balance sheet results in understatement of assets. No, conservatism means what? Future losses you are going to record. How will it reduce your assets? No, false. 2. Raj Yoga and Company runs a cafe. They renovated some of the old cabins. Because of this renovation, some space was made free and number of cabins was increased from 25 to 28. Okay, you increase the cabins. That means it is going to give you extra benefit. The total expenditure incurred was 50,000 and was treated as revenue expenditure. No, it is treated as capital. False. Bank reconciliation statement is prepared to arrive at bank balance. How many times will you ask me? False. 4. Provision for bad debt is debited to sundry debtors. No, debited to P&L. False. 5. Depreciation is a non-cash expense and does not result in any cash flow. Yes, true. 6. Discount at the time of retirement of a bill is a gain for the drawer. Yes, I'm retiring the bill. And if you're giving me discount, I'm happy. True. 7. Provision for discount on creditors is often not provided because of a principle of conservatism. Yes. If you are going to record provision for doubtful debt, provision for doubtful debt is you're creating a provision for a future loss. Yes. But if you are creating a provision for future profit, that is going against the concept of conservatism. This is true. 8. The firm will receive surrender value of the joint life policy on the death of a partner. No, on the death of a partner, what will you get? You'll get the policy amount. False. 9. When a non-profit organization, separate trading activity, profit or loss from trading account shall be transferred to income and expenditure account at the time. Yes, if a non-profit organization also has some trading activity, they get some profit straight into income and expenditure account. True. 10. A fixed charge generally covers all the assets. No, it covers only specific one. Floating charge will cover all. So this is false. With that, we are done with all RTPs, guys, from May 2018. Now we'll go into PYQs. Yes, let's continue now with PYQs. PYQ will start from May 2018. Expense in connection with obtaining a license for running a cinema hall is a revenue expenditure. No, we saw it in RTPs also. False. It's going to give you future benefit. Reissue of forfeited shares is allotment of shares but not sale. False. It is allotment of shares. We saw this also in RTP. 3. If the effect of errors committed cancel out, the error will be called as compensating error and the trial balance will disagree. No. Compensating error, trial balance will agree. False. 4. There are 2 ways of preparing an account current. Ignore account current. Tell bye-bye. 5. When there is no partnership deed prevails, the interest on loan to partner to be paid at 6%. True. If there is no partnership deed, interest maximum you can give it at 6%. 6. Interest coverage ratio indicates the firm's ability to pay off the current interest. No ratios, guys. Ratio chapter is removed. PYQ, November 2018. Overhauling expense of an engine of motor car to get better fuel efficiency is revenue expenditure. False. This is straight from our study material. Overhauling expenditure means what? You purchased one second-hand bike. Now you don't know how this bike will run. You told I will run it for 2 days and then see if it is working, I will purchase it. Okay, this is going to give you better fuel efficiency. They said if it is giving you better fuel efficiency, how can it be considered as revenue? It is giving you extra benefit. It is false. It is capital expenditure. 2. Depreciation is a non-cash expense, does not result in any cash outflow. Yes, it is a non-cash expense. True. Third, fees received for life membership is a revenue receipt. How can life membership be revenue receipt? You will receive only once in life. So it is false. It is a capital receipt. 4. If closing stock appears in the trial balance, closing inventory is then not entered in the trading account. It is shown in the balance sheet. True. Closing stock in trial balance straight into balance sheet. Can you see how from the RTP questions, these questions are repeating again and again in the exam? You are just not putting effort. If you put effort, 12 marks easy into the pocket. Next, 5. Inventory turnover ratio. Let's ignore. No ratios, guys. Del creditor commission, not there. Okay. Next, PYQ May 19. All old syllabus things I am removing it. Yes. PYQ May 19. Amount spent for the construction of temporary huts which were necessary for the construction of the cinema house and were demolished when the cinema house was ready is a capital expenditure. True. Cinema house is a capital expenditure. Anything related to the cinema house, that is also capital expenditure. Now you constructed temporary hut. After that you will demolish it. That is also capital expenditure because the temporary hut was necessary for the capital expenditure. That is the cinema house. Yes. 2. If the amount is posted in the wrong account and it is written on the wrong side of the account, it is called as error of principal. No. It is error of commission. So it is false. 3. In case of consignment sale, ignore. No consignment. Bye-bye. 4. In case the due date of bill falls after the date of closing, red ink interest, not there. No red ink interest. Bye-bye. Limited liability is governed by Indian Partnership Act. No, they have LLP Act that you are studying also in law. False. 6. The relationship between sale and fixed asset is expressed as a working capital ratio. No ratios, guys. Bye. It's removed. PYQ November 19. Trade discount is a reduction granted by a supplier from the list price of goods or service on business consideration for prompt payment. No. Moment you use that word prompt payment, gone. Trade discount is at the time of trade, purchase or sale. So this is false. 2. XYZ company runs a cafe. They renovated some of the old cabins. Because of this increase from 15 to 18, total expenditure is revenue expenditure. No, it is giving you future benefit. This one just now we saw in RTP also. It is capital, so it is false. 3. Valuation of inventory at cost or NRV, whichever is less, is based on the principle of conservatism. True. If at all you can't sell the inventory at cost, you are selling it at less, you record at less only, record the loss today itself. This is on the basis of conservatism. That's 100% correct. 4. In case of bill of exchange, the drawer and the payee must not be the same person, but in case of promissory note, maker and payee may be the same person. False. In case of bill of exchange, see, drawer and payee. Who is payee? Payee is the person who is getting the money. He is the same person, so you don't have to read further. This is false. 5. Partnership firm cannot own any assets. True. How many times we have seen this? 6. Since company has existence independent of its members, it continues to be in existence despite the death, insolvency or charge of members. True. Company, joint stock company, people may come, people may go, but it will continue forever. PYQ November 2020. Question number 1. In case of admission of a new partner in a partnership firm, the profit or loss on revaluation account is transferred to all partners in their new profit sharing ratio. No. It is transferred only to old partners. This is false. 2. In the balance sheet of X Limited, preliminary expense amounting to 5 lakhs and securities premium account 35 lakhs are appearing. The accountant can use the balance in securities premium account, write off the preliminary expense. Can he? Yes. Preliminary expense has 5 uses. One of the uses is to write off the preliminary expense. Sorry, securities premium has 5 uses. It is one of the use is to write off the preliminary expense. True. Question 3. Insurance claim received on account of plant and machinery completely damaged by fire is a capital receipt. Yes. Why did you get that insurance claim? Because your asset got damaged. Asset is capital item, capital receipt. True. 4. Purchase of office furniture and fixtures of 2,500 has been debited to general expenses account. It is an error of omission. False. Instead of furniture, you're taking it as general expense. This is error of principle. Okay, it is an error of principle. See, yes. 5. A limited is sending goods costing 50,000 to B Limited on consignment. Ignore. Bye consignment. 6. A concern proposes to discontinue its business from December and decides to dispose of all its plant within the period of 3 months. The balance sheet as on 31st December 2020 should continue to indicate the plants at its historical cost. If you're going to shut, you are going to show it at realizable value, guys, not at historical cost. So this is going to be false. Clear? PYQ Jan 2021. Question number 1. Reissue of forfeited shares is allotment of shares but not sale. False. Reissue is allotment. 2. Sorry, it is allotment of shares but not sale. Yes, this is see, reissue of forfeited shares is not allotment of shares, but only sale such shares are already been allotted earlier. So it is just selling to a new person. This also we have seen before. 2. Subsidy receipt from the government for working capital by manufacturing concern is a revenue receipt. True. For working capital means day-to-day expense. That means it is revenue. 3. Sales book is kept to record both cash and credit. No, only to record credit sales of goods. False. 4. There are 2 ways of preparing an account current. Ignore account current. Bye-bye. Consignment will not pass an entry. That also bye-bye. Accounting standards for non-corporate entities is issued by central government. No, it is issued by ICAI. So this is false. PYQ May 2021. Let's continue, guys. Come on, 12 marks. We have to ace it. Goods sold on approval or return basis are not recorded. This is not there. Approval return gone. A company is not allowed to issue shares at discount to the public in general. True. You cannot. You can only issue shares at discount when it is sweat equity shares. True. Third, warehouse rent paid for storage of finished inventory should be included in the cost of finished inventory. No. Warehouse rent you'll add it to inventory. No. It is false. 4. A person holding preference shares of a company cannot hold equity shares. No, he can hold both. False. 5. Business of partnership firm comes to an end on death of a partner. No, partnership firm will continue. Surviving partners will continue the partnership firm. 6. Cash book is a subsidiary book as well as principal book. 100% correct. Cash book is the only one which is subsidiary book as well as principal book. Purchase book, sales book and all are not going to do the job of both. It's only a subsidiary book. This is true. PYQ December 2021. Question number 1. Any amount spent to minimize the working expense is revenue expenditure. Any amount spent to minimize the working expense is not revenue expenditure. It is capital expenditure. So false. 2. Expense incurred on repairs for the first time on purchase of an old building are capital expenditure. True. You purchased old building, no problem. But that time you incurred expense, it is capital. You purchased old building. After 2 years you incurred expense, then it can be revenue. 3. Provision for bad debt is debited to Sunday debtors. No, debited to P&L. False. 4. Non-participating preference shares enjoy voting rights. False. Non-participating preference shares do not enjoy voting rights. 5. There is no entry passed by the consignee in his books. Ignore consignment. Bye-bye. Discount column of cash book is never balanced. 100% current. Discount column of cash book is just totaled and it's transferred to the discount account. True. Come on. Let's do it, guys. PYQ May 2022. A claim that an enterprise is pursuing through legal process where the outcome is uncertain is a contingent liability. False. Claim that an enterprise is pursuing through legal process where the outcome is uncertain is a contingent asset because you're going to get the claim. 2. At the end of the accounting year, all nominal accounts are balanced. No, they are not balanced. They are closed. So this is false. 3. The specific due date excludes the addition of grace days to arrive at the due date. Ignore. Average due date is not there. Any amount spent for replacement of worn out part of machine is capital expenditure. False. It is revenue expenditure. 5. Debenture suspense account appears on the liability side. No, we have seen this debenture suspense account. Debenture appears on the liability side. So debenture suspense should be opposite. It is on the asset side. False. 6. If errors are detected after preparing trial balance, then all the errors are rectified through suspense account. False. We will have P&L adjustment account making a grand entry when it is in the next accounting period. Next, PYQ November 2022. The financial statements are not prepared on the assumption that enterprise is a going concern and will continue its operation. No, financial statements are always prepared on the assumption of going concern. This is false. 2. Periodic inventory system is a method of ascertaining inventory by taking actual count. Yes, go and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. True. 3. Provision for discount on creditors is not provided. Principle of conservatism. We saw this in RTP again and again. True. 4. If the errors are detected after preparing trial balance, then all the errors are rectified through suspense account. No, after preparing trial balance, you will use P&L adjustment also. False. 5. Both revenue and capital transactions are recorded in the receipt and payment account. Yes, only revenue transactions will be recorded in the income and expenditure account. True. 6. A fixed charge generally covers all the assets of the company, including future one. Fixed charge covers only specific assets. Floating charge will cover all the assets. This is false. June 2023. Let's go. As per the concept of conservatism, the accountant should provide for all possible losses, but should not for anticipating income. True, 100% correct. Provide for future losses, don't provide for future income. 2. Expense in connection with obtaining a license for running a cinema hall. Cinema hall is capital expenditure. They are telling revenue. False. 3. Under or overcasting of subsidiary book is an example of error of commission. Yes, you made the mistake. True. 4. Del Crader commission, not there. Next, 5. Perpetual debentures are payable at the time of liquidation of the company. True. Perpetual debentures means they will be there only when the company closes down, you can pay them. It is like irredeemable debentures. 6. Overhead is defined as the total cost of direct material, direct wages and direct expenses. False. There are others also. PYQ December 2023, guys. Come on. The financial statement must disclose all the relevant and reliable information in accordance with the full disclosure principle. True. Everything what you know should be disclosed in the financial statement. 2. Gain from sale of capital asset is added to revenue to ascertain the net profit of the business. True. Gain from sale of capital asset is added to revenue to ascertain the net profit. Net profit, yes, it is added. Yes, correct. 3. Depreciation is a non-cash and non-operating expense which is to be provided for if there are profits. False. Depreciation is non-cash, but it is operating. Next, sum of years of digits method is an example for accelerated method of charging depreciation. True. Accelerated method of charging depreciation means what? Okay, you calculate based on useful life. So this is 100% true. 5th, inauguration expense of 10 lakhs incurred on the new unit in an existing business is a capital expenditure. You are preparing new unit, but inauguration expense is actually a marketing expense, so it is going to be advertising. So this is false. 6. Discount column of cash book records trade discount. No, trade discount is never recorded. Only cash discount is recorded. This is false. PYQ June 24. Welcome to new scheme. If closing stock appears in the trial balance, then it does not enter in trading account. It is only shown in the balance sheet. True. Many times repeatedly cast. 2. If the amount is posted in the wrong account and it is written on the wrong side, it is called as error of principle. No, error of principle is instead of revenue, you treat it as capital. This is false. Error of commission it is. 3. Accounting standards can override the statute. Law, anything cannot go above the law. This is false. 4. Promissory note is different from bills of exchange because the amount is paid by maker in case of former and by the acceptor in case of later. 100% true. Promissory note, I write the promissory note. Okay, so I am the maker, I will be paying. But in bills of exchange, drawer draws the bills of exchange. The one who accepts, that fellow will make the payment. This is true. 5. All errors are rectified by means of journal entries. False. Some of them, if it is before preparation of trial balance, you don't even pass journal entry, you just go and pass a statement. 6. Revaluation account is also known as profit and loss adjustment account. True. They are interchangeably used. Revaluation account and profit and loss adjustment account interchangeably used. PYQ September 2024. 1. Nominal accounts are balanced at the end of the year, not balanced, closed. False. 2. Overall expenses of a second-hand machinery purchased are revenue expenditure. No. Overall expenditure is capital expenditure. That's why it is false. 3. Valuation of inventory at a cost or net realizable value is based on principle of conservatism. True. Because if the if the value of the inventory goes down, record the loss today only. That's why cost or NRV, whichever is less. True. 4. Promissory note can be made payable to the bearer. No, it cannot be. Bill of exchange can be done. False. 5. Receipt and payment account for a non-profit organization follows the accrual concept of accounting. Receipt and payment follows cash concept of accounting. This is false. 6. Legal heirs of a deceased partner are entitled to his capital account balance only. Then if it is only capital account, what about his current account balance? That also is entitled, and all the other things. So this is also false. PYQ Jan 2025. Yes, guys, let's go. Question number 1. Matching concept is based on accrual concept. True. Matching concept is based on always accrual concept. That means all expenses and incomes are recorded as and when they happen. 2. Customers of business should not be considered as users of accounts prepared by the business. They are not interested in knowing the performance of business. Customer will be interested. I want to know if I am the customer, will this business be tomorrow also, so that I can buy from them? I want to know. So false. 3. Under inflationary conditions, FIFO method will not show lowest value of cost of goods sold. False. Inflationary condition means what? Prices keep going. That means last in whatever came, it was high. First in whatever came was low. They are telling will not show lowest value, will show lowest value. So false. 4. For redemption of preference shares, proceeds from fresh issue of equity shares and debentures can be utilized. For redemption of preference share, can you use proceeds from issue of equity shares? 100%, but not from debentures. Next, 5. Bookkeeping and accounting are not synonymous terms. They are different from each other. True. Bookkeeping is different, accounting is different. 6. A ledger is also known as a principal book of accounts. True. 100%. One of the things that we study in 11th and 12th itself. Ledger is a principal book of account. PYQ May 2025. Let's go, guys. Trade discount is recorded in the discount column in triple column cash book. No, trade discount, forget triple column, single column, double column, anywhere it is not recorded. Only cash discount. False. 2. Money measurement concept means transactions are to be recorded at uniform monetary units. True. It should be recorded in money terms. Yes. 3. If a society, non-profit organization has a separate trading activity, profit or loss from trading account shall be transferred to income and expenditure account at the time of consolidation. Yes. If they are doing trading, get their profit, compute their profit and transfer it to their income and expenditure account. Yes. 4. Partners in a partnership firm will share profits of business according to their capital contribution in the absence of agreement. If you don't have agreement, not capital contribution, it will be based equally. False. 5. LLP should have 2 designated partners who are resident in India. False. Okay, not required. At least one of them should be resident. That's more than enough. 6. A non-profit organization registered under Section 8 of Companies Act can distribute its surplus to its members. Non-profit organization, you are not there for profit. Why are you distributing to members? False. You cannot distribute. PYQ September 2025. The materiality depends upon the amount of item and not upon the size of the business, nature and level of information, level of person making decision. False. As per materiality principle, all items have significant economic effect on the business of the enterprise should be disclosed. That means everything is applicable. Everything implies. Question number 2. While preparing the income and expenditure account as per accrual concept, the income and expenditure is considered in the period in which actual receipts and actual payments are made. False. What are they even talking? How can it be actual receipt and actual payments are made? No. When the transaction happens, it will go to income and expenditure. Income and expenditure is prepared on accrual basis, not on cash basis to tell actual receipt and actual payment. 3. Profit sharing ratio and capital contribution ratio need not be same. True. Profit sharing ratio can be one thing. Capital contribution can be one more thing. We have seen in partnership. True. 4. Depreciation is not provided in the financial year when the entity incurs loss. Depreciation is provided every time. This is false. 5. Concept that helps in keeping the business affairs free from influence of personal affairs of the owner is known as matching concept. Matching concept, it is called as business entity concept. This is false. 6. A company cannot issue equity shares at discount to general public. 100% true. It cannot issue at discount to general public. Only sweat equity shares are possible. True. With that, we are done with all PYPs, guys. All PYPs done. Okay, students, let's continue. We'll go into MTPs now. RTPs, PYQs, all done. Let's go into MTPs, MTP 1. Okay, MTP will have 1 series, 2 series. One of the attempts, it was like 3 series. Whether we'll discuss everything. Don't worry. Goods worth rupees 600 taken by the proprietor for personal use should be credited to capital account. No, it should be credited to purchases. False. Second, amount paid to management company for consultancy to reduce the working expenses. If capital is capital expenditure, if the reduced working expense will generate long-term benefit, yes, it will give you extra benefit in the future. Yes, it is capital expenditure. True. 3. Additional commission to the consignee. Consignment, bye-bye. When there is no agreement among the partners, profit and loss will be shared in capital ratio. No, it will be shared equally. False. 5. When the shares are forfeited, the share capital account is debited with the called up capital. Correct. Shares forfeited and the share forfeiture account is credited in the call scenario. Share forfeiture account is credited with the amount received. So this is also false. 6. Quick ratio, ignore. Quickly we'll ignore it because it's not there in our syllabus now. MTP, November 2018. MTP 1. Inventory turnover ratio, no ratios. By 2. Sales book is kept to record both cash and credit sales. No, sales book is kept to record what? Only credit sales of goods and services that are dealt with in the business. False. 3. In the calculation of average due date, ignore. No average due date. 4. If partner retires, then other partners have a gain in their profit sharing ratio. True. One person goes, obviously they'll benefit. 5. When shares are forfeited, the share capital account is debited. Just now we saw this. False. 6. Accrual concept implies accounting on cash basis. Accrual concept is on due basis. So it is false. Now MTP 2, November 2018. When shares are forfeited, share capital is debited. Correct. When with called up capital of shares forfeited and the share forfeiture account is credited with call scenarios. No, with amount received. This is false. 2. Accrual concept implies accounting on cash basis. How many times to tell? No, it is on due basis. False. 3. Fixed asset turnover ratio. Ignore ratios. Not there. 4. Capital plus long-term liabilities is equal to fixed asset plus current asset plus cash minus current liability. False, false, false. Okay, this current liability should go that side. Now, first of all, current liability correct, but cash is already included in the current asset. See, equity, this thing minus equity plus long-term liability, fixed asset plus current asset minus current liability is correct, but cash is already there in current asset. Again, why you are adding cash? Wrong. False. 5. Partner can share profits and losses in the capital ratio when there is no agreement. No, they have to share it equally. False. 6. Consignment. Bye-bye. No consignment. May 2019. First question. When shares are forfeited, the share capital is debited. Correct. With called up capital. Correct. Okay, the share forfeiture account is credited with calls in arrears account. No, wrong. False. Second, accrual concept implies accounting on cash basis. No, due basis. False. 3. Finished goods are normally valued at cost or market price, whichever is higher. No, it is at cost or NRV, whichever is lower. False. 4. Discount at the time of retirement of a bill is gain for the drawee. If I am retiring the bill, I am paying early. I am getting discount. For me, it is gain. True. 5. Partners can share profits and losses in the capital ratio when there is no agreement. No, equally. No, equally. False. 6. Receipt and payment account highlights total income and expenditure. Receipt and payment account does not highlight total income and expenditure. It highlights total receipt and payment. False. MTP May 19. Come on. Debenture interest is payable after the payment of preference dividend. No, it is payable before the payment of preference dividend. False. 2. Amount paid to management company for consultancy to reduce the working expense. Okay, reducing the working expense is capital expenditure. If reduced working expenditure will give you long-term benefit, good. True. Because it is going to give you long-term benefit, it is a future economic benefit. True. Capital expenditure. 3. Additional commission to the consignee. Ignore. Bye-bye consignee. 4. When there is no agreement among partners, profit and loss will be in the capital ratio. False. It will be equal. How many times do I tell this? Yes. 5. Goods worth ₹600 taken by the proprietor for personal use should be credited to capital account. No, it should be credited to purchases. Drawings account debited to purchases is the entry. False. 6. Quick ratio. Quickly we'll ignore it. MTP 1, November 19. Capital plus long-term liability is equal to fixed asset plus current asset plus cash. No cash. This we just discussed. False. 2. Consignment account is ignored. 3. Sales book is kept to record both cash and credit sales. No, it is kept to record only credit sales of goods and services that are dealt with in the business. False. 4. In the calculation of average due date, no average due date anymore. 5. If partner retires, then other partners have a gain in their profit sharing ratio. Yes, true, 100%. 6. Net income in case of persons practicing vocation is determined by preparing P&L. No, it is determined by preparing income and expenditure. So this is false. May 2020, MTP. Let's go. If the effect of errors committed cancel out, errors will be called as compensating errors, correct. And the trial balance will disagree. No, compensating errors will make the trial balance agree. So this is false. 2. Amount spent for construction of temporary huts which are necessary for construction of cinema house and were demolished when the cinema house was ready. It is capital expenditure. I want to construct cinema house over here. So I need one temporary hut. This is directly related and it's required. After it is constructed, what will I do? I'll demolish the temporary hut. That is 100% true capital expenditure. 3. In case of consignment sale, ownership of goods will be transferred. Ignore consignment. Bye-bye. 4. In case of due date of a bill falls after the date, redding interest, no redding, only blanking now. 5. When there is no partnership deed prevails, interest on loan of a partner is to be paid at the rate of 6%, 100% true. 6. Reissue of forfeited shares is allotment of shares but not sale. This is false. We've seen it so many times. MTP November 2020, when the shares are forfeited, share capital account is debited with called up capital. Yes. Okay. And share forfeiture account is credited with call scenarios. No, it is credited with amount received. This is false. 2. Discount at the time of retirement of a bill is gain for the drawee. True. I am retiring the bill. For me, it is gain. Yes. 3. Receipt and payment account highlights total income and expenditure. No. Receipt and payment account highlights total receipts and payments. 4. Capital plus long-term liability is equal to fixed asset plus current asset plus cash. No plus cash. So it is false. 5. Partners can share profits and losses in their capital ratio when there is no agreement. No, they should share it equally. False. 6. Accrual concept implies accounting on cash basis. No, it is on due basis. False. MTP May 21. Balance in petty cash book represents an asset. Petty cash book is also asset. Normal cash is also asset. True. Second, balance in petty cash book represents an asset. Okay. Balance in petty cash book represents an asset. I think it got interchanged. This is a different question. See, same thing it is. Question is wrong here. When compiling, we must have made a mistake. Sorry, guys. Finished goods are normally valued at cost or NRV. It's that question. Finished goods are valued at cost or NRV, whichever is less. Okay. 3. Subscription received for the current year shall be shown in the balance sheet as a current asset. Subscription received for the current year. Why will it even go to the balance sheet? False. It will go to income and expenditure account. 4. When shares are forfeited, share capital account is debited with called up capital. Correct. And share forfeiture account is credited with call scenarios. Wrong. False. 5. Discount at the time of retirement of a bill is gain for the drawee. When I'm retiring the bill, that means I'm paying the money early. That time I'll get some discount. That is a gain for me. True. 6. Bills receivable and bills payable books are types of subsidiary books. 100% correct. True. May 2021. Salary paid in advance is not an expense because it neither reduces. No, it is not an expense. It is an asset. True. Okay. Reducing balance method of depreciation is followed to have uniform charge of depreciation and repair and maintenance together. Yes. Depreciation keeps reducing. Repair keeps increasing. This is true. Now, let me drink some water, guys. Yes, let's continue. The financial statements must disclose all the relevant and reliable information as per full disclosure principle. Yes, 100% correct. You should show everything that you know which will impact the reader of the financial statement. 4. When there is no agreement among the partners, profit and loss of the firm will be shared in capital ratio. No, it will be shared equally. False. 5. Debenture interest is payable after payment of preference dividend. No, first you pay outsider, then you pay the preference shareholder and equity shareholder. This is false. 6. Net income in case of persons practicing vocation. No, you cannot use P&L there. You should use income and expenditure. False. November 2022. Concept of conservatism when applied to the balance sheet results in understatement of assets. How? No, it will not reduce in understatement of assets. You will be increasing the liability when you make provision for the future losses. True. Array. Yeah, it will be resulting in understatement of assets. True, correct. But somewhere else they have told false. So what you have to understand, it will not understate the asset. It will only overstate the liabilities. Okay. Second, reducing balance method of depreciation is followed to have a uniform charge of depreciation and repair and maintenance. We have seen this. True. Discount at the time of retirement of bill is gain for the drawee. How many times? Yes, guys. The gain for me. True. If individual life policies, that means separate life policies are taken in the name of partners and premium is paid from the firm, then retiring partner is entitled to the surrender value of his policy only. No, he is entitled to the surrender value of all the policies. False. 5. When shares are forfeited, share capital is debited. Yes, but it is not credited with call scenarios. This is false. We have seen it many times. 6. Goods worth ₹600 taken by the proprietor for personal use should be credited to capital account. No, it should be credited to purchases. False. MTP, November 2022. Amount spent for the construction of temporary huts. We have seen this. It is true. Second, finished goods are normally valued at cost or market price. No, cost or NRV, whichever is less. This is false. Additional commission to the consignee. Ignore consignee. Firm will receive surrender value of the joint life policy on the death. No, on the death you will get the policy amount. False. 5. When the non-profit organization has separate trading account, trading activity, the profit or loss should be going to income and expenditure account. True. 6. Capital plus long-term liability is equal to fixed asset plus current asset plus cash is not there. This is false. This we have seen May 2022 now. May 2022 guys, come on. Wages paid for erection of machinery are debited to P&L. No, wages paid for erection of machinery should be debited to the machinery account only. False. 2. Amount spent for the construction of temporary huts which are necessary for the construction of cinema house and demolished are capital expenditure. Yes, true. The additional commission to the consignee, ignore consignment. By in calculation of average due date, no average due date now. The business of partnership must be carried on by all the partners. No, false. Business of partnership can be carried on by all of them or any one of them acting for all. Remember the Partnership Act. Okay. 6. Debenture interest is payable after the payment of preference dividend. No, before the payment of preference dividend. False. November, May 2022, MTP. Expense in connection with obtaining a license for cinema hall. Cinema hall is a capital expenditure. For that license, if you're taking, that is also capital expenditure. This is not revenue. False. 2. If the effect of errors committed cancel out. Okay, errors will be called as compensating errors. Correct. And the trial balance will disagree. No, compensating errors will make the trial balance agree. False. Okay. 3. Stock at the end, if appears in the trial balance, will be taken in the balance sheet. If it is there in the trial balance, directly to balance sheet. True. 4. Consignment account is the nature of real account. Ignore consignment. By 5. Partners can share profit and losses in the capital ratio. If there is no agreement, no, they will share it in what? Profit sharing ratio. False. 6. Since company has existence independent of its members, if it continues to be in existence despite the death, insolvency or change of members. True. Joint stock company, people may come, people may go, but it will continue forever. Yes. MTP, December 2022. If the effect of errors committed cancel out, they are compensating errors and the trial balance will disagree. No, it will agree. False. Accrual concept implies accounting on cash basis. No, on due basis. Second. 3. Accrual concept implies cash basis. Okay, this is a consignment question. Wrong questioning there. 4. In case of due date of bill falls after red ink interest. Not there. 5. When there is no partnership deed, the interest on loan of a partner to be paid at the rate of 6%. True. To be paid at the rate of 6%. True. 6. When shares are forfeited, the share capital account is debited with the called up capital. Correct. And the share forfeiture account is credited with calls and arrears. No, it is credited with the amount received. False. December 2022. Next one. Prior period items need not be separately disclosed in the current statement. No, it should be separately disclosed. Remember, when rectification is done in the next accounting period, we always use P&L adjustment account. False. Next. 2. Capital plus long-term liability, fixed asset plus current asset. Cash is not there. False. See the number of times it is getting repeated and these only come in the exam, guys. Just cover this question bank once. We will try to score maximum in the true or false. 3. The sale value of byproduct is credited to trading account. No, it is credited to manufacturing account. False. 4. Discount at the time of retirement of a bill is gain. Yes, when I am retiring the bill, I am paying early. I am getting discount. Gain. True. 5. If partner retires, then the other partners have gain in the profit sharing ratio. One person goes, other person's share will increase. True. 6. Net income in case of a person's practicing vocation. Yes, that means this will go to income and expenditure. May 2023. The concepts of conservatism when applied into the balance sheet results in understatement of assets. Yes. Assets will increase, assets will decrease. See, conservatism states that the accountant or entity should not anticipate any future income. However, they should provide for all possible losses. Imprudent use of concept of conservatism may lead to understatement of income and assets. Okay. Now, let's go further, guys. 2. Amount spent on construction of temporary huts for cinema house. We have seen this so many times. 2. Current asset, current account and account current are one and the same. This is not there in a syllabus. 4. In case of due date falls, red ink interest, that is also not there. 5. On death of a partner, the firm gets surrender value of the joint life policy. No, if death of a partner, firm gets the policy amount. False. 6. Company A is incurring huge losses. Board of directors are of the opinion that in case of losses, there is no need to pay. There is no need to pay interest on debenture holders. No, you have to pay interest to debenture holders. If you are in loss or profit, you have to pay. False. May 2023, overhauling expense of engine of a truck to get better fuel efficiency. You are getting better fuel efficiency. That means better future benefit is there. Is revenue expenditure? No, it is capital expenditure. 2. Reducing balance method of depreciation is followed to have uniform charge of depreciation and repair and maintenance together. True. So many times we have seen this. 3. Sale value of byproduct, not trading account. It should be manufacturing account. False. 4. When there is no agreement among the partners, profit or loss of the firm will be shared in their capital ratio. No, it will be shared equally. False. 5. Debenture interest is payable after the payment of preference dividend but before the payment of equity dividend. No, debenture interest is paid before the payment of preference dividend also. False. 6. In a non-profit organization, excess of total assets over total outside liabilities is known as capital fund. Asset minus liability, in normal case it is capital. Asset minus liability in case of NPO, it is capital fund. December 2023, salary paid in advance is not an expense. Yes, true. It is an asset. 2. Accrual concept implies accounting on cash basis. False. It's on due basis. 3. Stock at the end of the year, if it appears in the trial balance, it will be taken in the balance sheet. True. If stock is there in the adjustment, then it will be taken in the balance sheet as well as in the trading account. 4. Discount at the time of retirement of bill is, yes, it is gain. True. 5. Partners can share profit and loss in capital ratio. No, only equal if there is no agreement. 6. Receipt and payment account highlights total income and expenditure account. No, it highlights total receipt and payment. This is false. December 2023, the provision for bad debts is debited to sundry debtors account. No, debited to P&L. Debited to P&L. This is false. 2. Discount column of cash book is never balanced. 100% correct. It is never balanced, just totaled and transferred to the discount account. True. Goods sold on approval or return basis are not sold. This is not there. 4. In case of due date of a bill, red ink interest, that is also not there. 5. Business of a partnership comes to an end on the death of a partner. No, other surviving partners are there. They will continue if they want to. False. Non-participating preference shares enjoy voting rights. Never. They will never enjoy voting rights. False. June 2024. Welcome to new scheme MTPs. Now, accounting standards for non-corporate entities in India are issued by central government. No, it is issued by our mother body, ICAI. False. This is 2. Subsidy received from government for working capital day-to-day expense by a manufacturing concern is a revenue receipt. It's received for what? Day-to-day expense. It is revenue receipt. True. 3. Reducing balance method of depreciation is followed to have uniform charge of depreciation and repair and maintenance together. 100% true. Many times we have seen. I'm not explaining again. 4. Discount at the time of retirement of bill is a gain for the drawee. True. We saw this also. 5. Business of partnership comes to an end on the death of a partner. No. Surviving partners will continue. False. 6. Receipt and payment account highlights total income and expenditure. No, it highlights total receipts and payment. False. June 2024. One more. Insurance claim received on account of plant and machinery completely damaged by fire is capital receipt. Why did you receive insurance claim for plant and machinery? Capital receipt. If you would receive insurance claim for stock, it would have been revenue receipt. 2. In the balance sheet of Angel Limited, preliminary expense amounting to 15 lakhs and securities premium amounting to 105 lakhs are appearing. The accountant can use balance in securities premium account to write off the preliminary expense. One of the uses of securities premium is that you can use it to write off the preliminary expense. So this is true. 3. Financial statements must disclose all relevant and reliable information with full disclosure. Yes, 100% correct. Whatever you know which can impact the reader of the financial statement, you must disclose it. True. 4. In case of admission of a new partner in a partnership firm, profit or loss or devaluation is transferred to all partners. No, only to old partners. In new profit sharing ratio. No, in old profit sharing ratio. This is false. 5. Debit note is issued. Debit notes issued are used to prepare sales written book. No, it is for purchase written book. False. 6. Debenture holders enjoy the voting rights in the company. Debenture holders enjoy the voting right in the company. No, only shareholders enjoy. False. June 2024. One more MTP in June 2024. Subsidy received from the government for working capital by a manufacturing concern is a revenue receipt. 100% correct. It is for day-to-day expense. So it is revenue receipt. Next, 2. If the effect of errors committed cancel out, then it will be called as compensating errors. Yes, it is compensating errors. And the trial balance will agree, not disagree. So this is false. 3. Financial statement must disclose all relevant and reliable information in accordance with full disclosure. 100% correct. True. 4. Limited liability partnership is governed by Indian Partnership Act. No, there is also LLP Act. False. 5. Nominal accounts are kept under single entry system. Why? Nominal accounts are expenses and incomes. Why are they kept under single entry system? No, they are kept under double entry system only. 6. A person holding preference share of a company cannot hold equity share. No, they can hold both. False. MTP September 2024. Balance in petty cash book represents an asset. Petty cash, normal cash, big cash, small cash, everything asset only. True. Finished goods are normally valued at cost or market price. No, it is valued at cost or NRV, whichever is less. False. Subscription received for the current year shall be shown in the balance sheet as a current asset. Subscription received for the current year will not go to balance sheet only, it will go to income and expenditure account. False. 4. When shares are forfeited, the share capital account is debited with called up capital, 100% correct, and the share forfeiture account is credited with calls and arrears. False. Share forfeiture account is credited with amount received. 5. Discount at the time of retirement of a bill is a gain for the drawee. True. We have seen this so many times. 6. Bills receivable and bills payable book are type of subsidiary books. Yes, they are subsidiary books. True. MTP September 2024. See the number of repetitions. Please study all this. 12 marks at the starting will boost your confidence. Wages paid for erection of machinery. Yes, it is related to erection of machinery. Yes, it is false because it is debited to P&L. It is a capital expenditure. It should have been added to the machinery itself. Amount spent for construction of temporary huts. Yes, 100% it is capital expenditure. True. If the effect of errors committed cancel out. If it is cancelled out, it is called as compensating error. And the trial balance will disagree. They are telling no, it will agree. So this is false. 4. Promissory note is different from bills of exchange because the amount is paid by the maker. Yes, promissory note, I am making the promise. I am going to pay. And by the acceptor in the later. Yes, there whoever is accepting. True. 5. Business of partnership must be carried on by all partners. False. It can be carried on by all or any one of them, acting for all. 6. Debenture interest is payable after the payment of preference dividend but before. No, it should be paid before the payment of preference dividend only. False. MTP Jan 2025. Guys, a claim that an enterprise is pursuing through legal process where the outcome is uncertain is a contingent liability. No. It is not contingent. It is contingent asset. True. False. They said contingent liability. 2. If the effect of errors committed cancel out, the errors will be called compensating errors and the trial balance will disagree. No, trial balance will agree. False. Stock at the end, if it appears, it will be taken to the balance sheet. If stock is there at the end of the year in the trial balance, it will go to balance sheet only. True. Reissue of forfeited shares is allotment of shares but not sale. This we have seen many times. False. 5. Both revenue and capital expenditure transactions are recorded in the receipt and payment account. In receipt and payment account, you will find all revenue and capital expenditures. But income and expenditure account, you will find only revenue transactions. This is true. 6. Since company has existence independent of its members, it continues to be in existence despite of death, insolvency, change of members. True. Because joint stock company, people may come, people may go, company stays on forever. MTP 2, Jan 2025. Depreciation cannot be provided in case of loss in a financial year. No. Whether there is loss or profit, depreciation will always be provided. False. At the end of the accounting year, all nominal accounts of the ledger book are balanced. No, nominal accounts are closed by transfer to P&L. False. Any amount spent on replacement of worn out part of machinery is capital expenditure. No, worn out part of machinery replacement, regular maintenance, it is false. It is revenue expenditure. 4. In case of admission of a new partner in a partnership firm, profit or loss on revaluation account is transferred to all partners. No, it is transferred only to old partners in their new profit sharing ratio. No, in their old profit sharing ratio. False. 5. Debit notes are issued to prepare sales written book. No, it is for purchase written book. False. 6. Debenture suspense account appears on the liability side of the balance sheet. No, it appears on the asset side of the balance sheet. Debenture appears on the liability side of the balance sheet. Debenture suspense appears on the asset side of the balance sheet. MTP May 2025. Insurance claim received on account of plant and machinery completely damaged by fire is a capital receipt. True. Second, wages paid for erection of machinery are debited to P&L account. Wages paid for erection of machinery should be added to the machinery. False. Financial statement must disclose all relevant and reliable information in accordance with full disclosure. Yes, 100% disclosure you should make whichever is relevant to the reader of the financial statement. True. Business of partnership must be carried on by all partners or no, it should be carried on by all partners or any one of them also acting for all. False. The debit note is issued not for sales return, it is for purchase return. False. 6. When shares are forfeited, share capital account is debited with called up capital. Correct. And the share forfeiture account is credited in calls and arrears account. Calls and arrears amount. That is false because it is credited with amount received. May 2025. One more. Warehouse rent paid for storage of finished inventory should be included in the cost of finished inventory. No. It will be shown separately. It will not be included in the cost of inventory. False. Cash book is a subsidiary book as well as principal book. True. Only cash book is subsidiary as well as principal. Subscription received for the current year should be shown in balance sheet. No, it will be shown in income and expenditure account. 4. Company is incurring huge losses. Board of directors are of the opinion that in case of losses, there is no need to pay interest to debenture holder. Outsider, you have to pay him interest. False. 5. On death of a partner, firm gets the surrender value. No, they'll get the policy amount. False. 6. Concept of conservatism when applied to the balance sheet results in understatement of asset. Yes, asset can reduce because of the losses that are recorded. MTP, September 2025. Trade discount is a reduction granted by a supplier from the list price of goods or services on business consideration for prompt payment. Prompt payment is cash discount. This is false. XYZ runs a cafe. They renovated some of the old cabins. Because of this renovation, some space was made free and number of cabins was increased from 15 to 18. Total expenditure incurred was 45,000 and it was treated as revenue expenditure. No, it is treated as capital expenditure. False. It is giving you extra benefit. 3. Reducing balance method of depreciation followed have uniform charge of depreciation and repair and maintenance. Yes, we have seen this at least 10 times. True. 4. In case of bills of exchange, the drawer and payee may not be the same person, but in case of promissory note, the maker and payee may be the same person. No, false. We have seen this before. 5. Business of partnership comes to an end on the death of a partner. No, continuing partners will continue. 6. Since company has existence independent of its members, it continues to be in existence despite the death, insolvency, or change of members. Yes, people may come, people may go. Joint stock company remains forever. September 2025, one more. Goods sold on approval or return basis are not recorded as credit sales initially when they are sent out. False. They are recorded as credit sales. When they sent only, we are recording it as credit sale. If they are returned, we are going to reverse it. At the balance sheet date, if it is not accepted, not rejected, still there is time, we are still going to reverse it and take it as closing stock. 2. Warehouse rent paid for storage of finished inventory must be added to the cost of the inventory. False. 3. Financial statement must disclose full information, full disclosure. True. 4. In case of admission of a new partner, profit and loss and revaluation is transferred to all partners. No, only to old partners. In new profit sharing ratio, no, old profit sharing ratio. False. Debit note issued for not sales return. It is for purchase return. Again, false. Company is not allowed to issue shares at discount to the public. Yes, they can issue only sweat equity shares. December 2025, discount column of cash book is never balanced. It is just totaled and total is carried forward to the discount account. True. Promissory note cannot be made payable to bearer. Yes, it cannot be. You are promising one person, you will pay only that person. False. Okay, accounting standards can override the statute. You cannot go over the law. Accounting standards cannot override the statute. False. In case of admission of a new partner, profit and loss on revaluation is transferred to all partners. No, only to old partners. New profit sharing ratio. No, only in old profit sharing ratio. False. Depreciation cannot be provided in case of loss in a financial year. Loss or profit, depreciation will still be provided. False. Non-participating preference shares enjoy voting rights. No, they don't enjoy voting rights at all. False. December 2025, MTP2, come on. A claim that an enterprise is pursuing through legal process where the outcome is uncertain is a contingent liability. I am claiming something. I have to get money. Contingent asset. 2. Cash book is a subsidiary book as well as principal book. Cash book is the only book which is subsidiary book as well as principal book. True. 3. Warehouse rent paid for storage of finished inventory should be included in the cost of finished inventory. No, it should not be included. False. 4. Promissory note is different from bills of exchange because the amount is paid by the maker in case of former. Yes, maker is going to pay the amount in promissory note and by the acceptor in case of later. But in bills of exchange, I make the bill, I will not pay, acceptor will pay the bill. True. The business of partnership must be carried on by all partners or any one of them acting for all. So this is false. Debenture interest is payable after the payment of preference dividend. No, it is before the payment of preference dividend. Roughly in around 1 hour 25 minutes, we have covered everything. All RTPs since 2018, all PYPs since 2018, all MTPs since 2018. Come on. That is the time we have to spend for this true or false because 12 marks at the starting is going to be a crazy boost to your paper. Okay, that's it guys. I know there are only a few days left. Watch this, revise everything, focus on rest of the things. Wish you all the best. 100% you are going to clear. Next time I'm going to see you in a CA inter class. Done with CA Foundation. All the best. Bye-bye.